Let's take a road trip to Sehwan in Sindh, Pakistan. So let's fill up those gas tanks and get going. After Rahim Khan, Sehwan was the next stop on our Pakistan tour. Sehwan or Sehwan Sharif, which means Noble Sehwan, is a historic city renowned for being home to the famous Sufi saint Lal Shahbaz Qalandar. For this reason, the city is also a spiritual center which welcomes thousands of pilgrims every day to the Darbar or shrine for Shahbaz Qalandar. By the time we arrived in Sehwan, it was already dark, around 7:30 p.m. So we headed straight to the motel we had booked online with the STDC, or the Sindh Tourism Development Corporation. But as it turns out, the motel was closed for renovations, and we had to go searching for another place. Our first stop was a local motel, right opposite the STDC one. But this place didn't seem entirely decent, so we headed to the Awqaf guest house, which, according to Google Maps, was in the same complex. But as it turns out, this building was an office and not a guest house. So we pulled out the maps again and we zoomed in and out until we could find a decently rated place somewhere else in Sehwan. What we found was the Al Noor guest house, which was located right next to the Darbar. Now, since we're not from Sehwan, we were relying on the route that Google Maps showed us. And it was late and we were tired from a long drive, so it took us a while to realize what a mistake it was to drive on the main Darbar road, alongside the foot and rickshaw traffic and multiple shops. Eventually, we came to our senses and had to reverse all the way back to the main road. The shrine of Shahbaz Qalandar became widely known to people across Pakistan and the world after an attack on the premises in 2017. On February 16, 2017, the shrine of Shahbaz Qalandar and the devotees who were present on site for the Thursday night Dhamal were attacked by a suicide bomber. Over 80 people were killed and dozens injured. The Dhamal is an opportunity for devotees to invoke the spirit of a great saint through dancing and singing rituals. While people across the country were shaken by this event, it is interesting to note that many more people showed up the next Thursday to show their solidarity with the victims. Once we were back on the main road, we headed to a car park where we were told we could safely park our car for the night. Now, as if we hadn't done enough back and forth for the night, we even had to change our parking spot. But the night wasn't over yet, and as our luck would have it, even this place didn't have a room to offer us. That means a room with a bed. Eventually, we headed back to the Mehran guest house to sleep the night away with mosquitoes. Bright and early the next morning, we had breakfast at a nearby restaurant and were served chai in this funky-looking cup. Eventually, we headed towards our main destination, the Darbar of Shahbaz Qalandar. But wait, cameras aren't allowed through the security gates. So after 10 minutes, we were back and cameraless. Finally, we were at the shrine of Lal Shahbaz Qalandar. And what a sight to behold! Pigeons in their typical fashion roamed the vicinity like kings, and there was a constant flow of people, some crying, some praying, and others just staring in awe. There was a crowd right next to the grave, where people gathered to give their respects, shower some rose petals, and be blessed by the constant stream of water trickling from the Qalandar's taweez. We were now ready to pack up and head to our next destination, the City of Lights, the city that never sleeps, none other than Karachi. But before we immersed ourselves in the big city life again, we wanted to make a quick stop at the peaceful Muncher Lake. Muncher Lake is the largest freshwater lake in Pakistan which has been serving locals since the time of the Indus Valley civilization, which began in 3300 BCE. Here, I'd like to add a word of caution regarding Google Maps. Since most of rural Pakistan is sparsely populated and there aren't any big centers around, it's hard to exactly locate where you want to head. So the best way to drive around is to just use maps to understand a general direction in which you want to go, and then follow road signs and your own instincts to guide you. Further on the note of instincts, sometimes you'll find turns in roads which aren't on Google Maps but would be useful shortcuts or could take you to wondrous places, as you'll see happen with us. While driving in the direction of a restaurant near Muncher, we came across this tributary of sorts off the road. Driving on that road, we came across a few huts. As we kept driving further, it was hard to tell where the road would eventually lead us to. As it turns out, the road all of a sudden ends right in the middle of the Great Muncher Lake. So that was our journey to Sehwan. Hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and feel free to leave any questions or comments below.